vital materials to sustain the mission. Transmitting coordinates on Charybdis 3. End of message. Human of unknown origin detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived. We see no one, ever. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him. Crucible is a tinderbox, and any spark will set it off. We're still recovering from a deadly conflict that happened 3 years ago. Far fewer of us are here to greet you today because of it. Most of us are like me, free and unaligned. But there are 3 societies that are oft at odds with one another. The Believers, the Pragmatists, and the Renegades. It would be wise to meet each of them. Franklin leads the Pragmatists. Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
This unit is busy. Non-resident detected. Valid exception acknowledged here to the mission. Do not leave Crucible. Warning delivered.
Look who it is. Need something out of my pack? Stay safe.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community, but you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends. No, we most certainly do not. Our relationship with them is a matter of some debate. You ask a question you already know the answer to. Yes, of course. I have need of you. But if you have a good heart and a quick mind, I am sure you will see my point of view. Where to begin? Maybe an introduction? I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatist Society. You know your history then. I am, in a sense, President Roosevelt. Everyone that lives here are clones. Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider. Then you must live a remarkably interesting life. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatists' position on matters. Well, it is one of the few concrete things we know about Crucible. If you want to truly know about the mission, the believers will tell you all about it. In fact, it can be hard to get them to stop talking about it. After you meet with them, I'll share my position. Please do. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with the Monirinas and Genghis Khan.
The mission is a lie, but we have a chance to build a real life here on Crucible.
Welcome to town, stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course. He was, and I try to be. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that. That's a generous offer. I might take you up on it. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you. Of course. I have been known to rent rooms to those in need. You want to stay the night? Longer? Room's yours for the week, then.
When do you think
Are coming back?
Died, what, 3 years ago?
So probably about 8 to 10.
my darkest hours? I fear
I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirinas of the Kush, queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even this. Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. But I feel in my bones that I am a Manirinas. I remember things no one has told me. And the smells. The rites. If your mind and heart remain open once, however, on Crucible I still lead. We are the ones who will to bring in a new glorious age. So many scoff at the mission. That we are the chosen. All of us represent the greatest figures in our history. You are skeptical. My advisors thought the same. I made war against the mighty Romans. No other king or queen. And that's just me. Some of the greatest... What are bureaucrats? If we could do it ourselves, we would have, years ago. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. but what I want. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is... But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years. And no one has ever... I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim... The facility is another place on this very planet. A place we cannot go. As much as we dream of it. I need you to go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
No queries are being
That's
asked.
an interesting specimen.
Stranger! Weapons out! They come!
The man from the stars. Come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you. Then don't believe it. It is true his blood runs through my veins. But I am not he. Crucible tries to imprint the clones with fake memories. Genghis predated the Mongols having written records. For being so great a figure, we know practically nothing about him. When was he born? How he died? Where he was buried? A single speech he gave? Nothing. It must have driven the robots mad, trying to figure out what to do with me. Manners cost me nothing. But make no mistake, I will do whatever it takes to escape this prison. I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls. I would provide fresh meat for my society, so we don't get fat off the robots. Franklin and I see eye to eye on very little, but even he appreciates this. And I always hope to see some means of escape. Perhaps our luck has finally changed. The robots taught me many things any Mongol would know. So, hunting game, even such as this, is little challenge to me. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones? Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours. But that is blind arrogance. We are just people. Same as you. Same as anyone. None at all. It is as if I were a student of his life and time. I know so much about him. I am me. I never really thought about that. Surprising indeed. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day, we will be free. A prison of the mind and the body. Crucible holds out a throne and says, obey. But thrones are meant to be taken, not handed to you by a machine. But it is a tantalizing lie that keeps the others in line. I do not know. Everything outside of Crucible is unknown to us. I imagine the settled systems are not so settled that a man who does not shrink from violence can't make a place for himself, though. Were it that easy, I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now, the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it. Oh yes, you can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop dead. I have no knowledge of medicine, but it's probably poison. It boils my blood to be subjugated like this. But too many of the clones are sheep. As long as their pens are clean and comfortable, they bleat their arguments. Even if you think I deserve this cage, does everyone? If you want your heartstrings tugged, talk to Amelia Earhart. Doesn't she deserve the stars she craves? You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
So, you have heard from the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them, and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across. It takes more than a great person to achieve great things. Their traits need to match these circumstances. I fear we would be ill-equipped to do anything except sow chaos. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age, setting us all loose. Potter as a whole would... The most likely case is anyone that leaves Crucible would die or silently fail. But if the mission is correct, and they do take over the settled systems, in the course of history it took millennia to cast out petty tyrants. The way ahead lies not looking to the past to literally guide us, but terrible and great figures we represent had their time. We made the most of it. We should be at peace with it. Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. It is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves. Allow one day we will be worthy of going to the stars. Do not listen to passion. Genghis can be very persuasive, but he's a fool. In some sense, we are an abomination. A science project made for unknown ends and with uncertain results. Once we are fully human, fully self-reliant, then we should be allowed to join the settled systems. Yes, and not to be indelicate, not for lack of trying. Are we even human in this state? We have no future, only the past. I am sure in time you will see the validity of my argument. Go to the facility and see what can be done.